We have a major update in regards to WWE versus TNA. Also, a top WWE star has gone from the company, and maybe another one could soon be on their way out as well. We're going to talk about it right here on the Ango Show. Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to TAS. I want to kick things off with Natalya because this is actually somewhat interesting to me. I don't know what the expectation is, but Dave Meltzer had noted that Natalya has still yet to sign a new deal with the WWE. He says she hasn't signed a new deal. He doesn't know if there's anything to be alarmed over or anything like that, but that is essentially the situation. Natalya hasn't spoken out about this. Obviously, nobody from WWE has spoken out about this, and it's a very interesting time when you consider Natalya as a very long-time member of the WWE universe. Now, obviously, she is too busy training tons and tons of wrestlers, and maybe those relationships have opened up doors or potentially new ideas where she thinks, okay, hey, maybe I could go to Stardom. Maybe I can go to AEW. Maybe I can go to TNA. You know, at this point, she's already made her money in WWE. Maybe there's something left outside of WWE. And because she's been training tons of other wrestlers, maybe that could be something that's on the table. Now, what I will say is this. WWE is starting to work with Marigold, which is the new Rossi Agawa promotion. Maybe WWE can send Natalya to Japan on behalf of WWE as part of their new Forbidden Door. Because obviously in 2024, WWE is very keen on working with other promotions. And maybe this is one of those situations that could make a lot of sense. I don't know how WWE is going to go about it. I don't know if Natalya will choose to re-sign with the WWE. But I'm going to assume that that might be a big part of it. Being able to go and do things outside of the WWE, especially when you're not creatively involved. You know, Natalya has been on NXT for a little bit, and Natalya is probably one of the most reliable people on the WWE roster. Might be one of the most reliable people in professional wrestling. I don't know if she gets the credit she deserves, but anytime something goes down, they need somebody to step up. Natalya is the one to do it. And I definitely appreciate that. I appreciate the fact that she has been so good in WWE. And it just seems like a good reputation has been built for her as well. So who knows? I like what she's been doing in NXT. I want to see more of her, man. I do. I want to see her get an opportunity. I always talk about fresh faces in the championship picture. You know, I would never be opposed to the idea of Natalya being given that opportunity, at least before her career is over. We don't really know how long she plans on sticking around in wrestling, but obviously she hasn't re-signed, and there's got to be a reason for it. Speaking of people gone or potentially leaving, looks like Becky Lynch is actually gone from the company. There's a massive update on this. We'll see what happens here. Dave Meltzer had also noted that Becky Lynch will not be away for a short period of time, as it is expected that it will be an extended leave. Meltzer flat out says it. He says that Becky Lynch did not re-sign with the company. She did not renew with the company. Look, I guess it makes sense. Dave Meltzer was talking about like Seth Rollins not being on the road. Obviously, Seth Rollins was injured. If Seth Rollins is not on the road, Becky Lynch not being on the road makes a lot of sense. This is what I will say, especially when it comes to Becky Lynch. She's a top star. I'm not saying she's going to AEW. But she has not renewed her contract with the WWE, okay? It doesn't mean that she's actually gone from the company in the sense of, like, she won't be back in WWE. But she's not re-signing with the company. So, you never know, man. Maybe Tony Khan swoops in and signs her. I know Tony Khan was talking about this publicly with the Rich Eisen interview. He doesn't want a contract tamper or anything like that, but he did say great things about Becky Lynch. I'm just saying it's not that far-fetched of an idea, you know? Look at Edge. Adam Copeland was the perfect example. It was some bullshit. Oh, I don't know what's next. You know, we'll see, blah, 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 blah. And that fucking guy, he pulled up within a week. He showed up like very fast. He showed up really fast. He went to AEW. And a lot of people thought he was going to finish his career out in WWE. So my point is, I don't think it's impossible. She has not re-signed with the company. As of now, she is not re-signing with the company. And as of now, she's taken a long break from wrestling. Who knows? Who knows how this plays out? This will be very interesting, though, because a ton of WWE superstars have re-signed with the company. Becky would be arguably one of the biggest to not re-sign with the company. I think there is a very good argument that could be made that Becky is the number one female superstar in WWE based on popularity. I think there is a legitimate argument with that. And look, we'll see how it all pans out. But if you're Tony Khan, you got the money. How do you not at least attempt to go for Becky Lynch, right? Like, if Becky has the loyalty towards WWE, that's one thing. But if you're Tony Khan, you got to at some point make that offer. And I think Tony Khan would make that offer. And I do think there is a possible chance that if it's a good enough offer, she would take it. I think Mercedes kind of changed the way wrestling negotiations work because Mercedes is getting the bag. And if you're Becky, you would want the same thing. So who knows how it all goes down? Obviously, we'll see. But this one is definitely one to pay attention to. And that brings us to TNA versus WWE. We talked about it the other day. Jordynne Grace showed up in NXT. Now WrestleVotes is talking about this on Twitter. While the exact details of the deal are unknown, as they should be, I'm told the partnership between WWE and TNA has been months in the making. WWE loved the feedback and energy from Jordynne Grace's Rumble appearance, and we're eager to use her again. There are tentative plans for additional superstars to make crossover appearances in due time. Both companies understand that a slow, thoughtful approach is the best way forward in the beginning stages. Wow. Look, I said it on the other video. Jordynne Grace should win the championship. Roxanne should be sent back to TNA to win it back. Winning it back would be a great idea. I also think I would be foolish enough not to acknowledge the fact that tons of wrestlers, both in TNA and WWE, are talking on Twitter about dream matchups. You got Moose responding to Drew McIntyre, where Drew McIntyre posted a photo of him with the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, says the door opens both ways. You have Ali, Mustafa Ali, and Cedric Alexander being talked about. There are tons and tons of things being mentioned on social media. Everybody wants in on the fun. Everybody's campaigning for that spot, and rightfully so. This is exciting. It's exciting. We'll see what happens, but I think it's a really good thing for pro wrestling. For pro wrestling, it's a really good thing. For TNA, it's a really good thing. And even for WWE, for the hardcore fans, this is a good thing. So ultimately, I'm all for it. WWE versus TNA, it just seems like a no-brainer. How they go about it, we'll see. The slow and thoughtful approach might make a lot of sense, but it seems like WWE has a ton of plans. They just brought in Ethan Page this past week on NXT. It was just a random-ass episode, and that's literally what we got. So we'll see how it all pans out. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the Ango Show.